Welcome to the NBD podcast, so where we dig into what's actually working or not when it comes to scaling businesses with the people who've been there. Today's guest, I'll let him introduce himself. Why don't you take it away?
Sure. Thank you, Jason. My name is Sebastian. I'm head of business development in an AI company, Celara Labs. Celara is based in northern Virginia, just outside DC. We have around 180, 200 people, mostly in Latin America. What we do is help companies build really strong tech teams all around Latin America, especially, or I would say exclusively, in the areas of AI, software, and product development. So basically, a company has a tech challenge or opportunity or wants to invest, start building in AI, and we step in to connect them with the best talent available. And not only that, but as we are tech people ourselves, we've built startups, we've led product teams, we've solved tough teams in AI. We help them understand what kind of project they're looking at in terms of scope, time, rates, people you need, sprints, phases, and so on. So that's basically what we do. We're working mostly in the US market, East Coast, Chicago, Texas, all around.
Awesome. And so, with that, in helping companies develop out their AI solutions, what are some of the things you see where people are failing or not understanding when trying to find these AI solutions, especially since there's so much out there? Like there's a new company coming out every day and saying, hey,
Yeah,
we'll solve this problem, or hey, we'll solve the same problem that this company came out yesterday that does, but we do it better.
yeah, sure. So, yeah, AI today is totally hype. Everyone's talking about AI. Everyone's an expert in AI, and we need to break through that. Um, so, a lot of companies and employees are using different AI products, different tools, but when we're talking about a tailored solution for a company in particular, I think the main thing the companies in general, well, then you have cases of bigger companies, smaller companies, tech companies, non-tech companies, not the same.
Hmm.
But in general, I'd say that companies often struggle to define why they need AI. So
Hmm.
everyone's saying that's the typical phrase that says everyone wants to do something in AI, they just don't know what. Right. So that's again, there's a lot of hype, and they say, okay, I gotta do something, I gotta stay on top with AI. There's a lot of FOMO, but they struggle to find a proper business case, I'd say.
Hmm.
That meaning specific outcomes you want when investing, when incorporating AI to a company, whether it's cost savings, it's faster cycle times, it's I don't know, better customer experience. Most companies don't understand what they want the AI for. I would say that is the main issue, right? Not leave it
Hmm.
at the science project, but actually get some ROI, get some outcomes out of it.
And what have you got into any companies that seen where they try and implement something and it's just not working, or it doesn't, essentially instead of creating efficiency, it creates inefficiency that you've been able to
Uh,
solve?
yeah. That may be so in some cases. Take into account that most companies don't have their own AI resources. That's
Hmm.
saying a data scientist, a machine learning engineering, or a tech lead or architect that knows their way in AI. So that lack of internal expertise, even in large companies and enterprises, doesn't allow you to build the right models, to integrate those models into your workflows. Integration is a big part of it. To maintain performance over time, you don't have the resources in terms of knowledge, in terms of people. So that makes it that sometimes you want to invest here, buy that product, build a system, and it doesn't really fit your needs. Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of that. What it takes is mostly understanding previously what you need the AI for. Make
Hmm.
a discovery, not just a discovery call, but a back and forth on documentation, on what your really challenges are. You need to understand it. You need to say, okay, when I speak about my sales processes, I'm seeing that this doesn't fit with my CRM. Or when I talk about my marketing outreach, I need to do this, this, and that, and I need the data to come this way. Or I have this platform and I want this platform to do what? To have better filters, to automate some part of the, I don't know, the vetting or whatever. So
Hmm.
once you understand those workflows and those outcomes, I think it gets much, much better than just buying something for the sake of it.
So like essentially a company's like they would reach out to you like, hey, we have I mean essentially we're operating, but we want to be more I mean it doesn't even have to have they have prompts. They're just like, hey, we want to operate more efficiently. We need your help. Can you and essentially be like, okay, let us understand better how you guys operate so we can find the right solutions for what you're doing. Because, like you said, if it's customer service, maybe you automate the phone system so that way you leverage AI voice agent and essentially they provide the information and free up, customer service reps, who waste their time looking up orders or saying, hey, I can transfer you here. Or you're doing something more difficult where you're looking up specific documents to provide output for someone for whatever it may be, or invoices in or general information. That's pretty cool. What so if someone was starting the process, what would they how would they so if you're a business, you're like, okay, I need AI. What would you suggest the process that they go through in order to get to a point where they have finalized something that's actually helping them?
Uh, Again, I think we work a lot with a matrix that it goes cheaper to more expensive and fixed to more customized to more
Mm-hmm.
tailored. And I think you first need to understand what kind of solution you need. I'm in business development, so there are a lot of tools in business development where you can automate outreach, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Those are very fixed. Sometimes they never have, or they don't have quite exactly what I'm looking for. So if you are looking to understand what kind of solution is the best for you, you shouldn't just scale on noise, right? You need to
Mm-hmm.
understand what kind of firepower you need. And the way to do that is to try your ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Most people have a lot of ideas. They think they can be solved in AI. The how is what matters. So we're working on something too that we call AI Studio. AI Studio
Mm-hmm.
is kind of a lab, let's call it, where you can test your ideas to iterate rapidly and get faster prototypes on what you're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
So we work with one or two engineers in-house with a company that can have that can use those engineers specialized in data science to try the ideas. Hey, I want to do this, this, and that. Is it feasible? Is it
Mm-hmm.
logic? Is it going to cost me too much money to be worth it? How can I do this? And they can tell them, okay, maybe we can think this use case like this or like that. Let's switch this here. Let's tweak this a little bit. And if you want to have this kind of outcome, maybe we can think of a project like this and that. That way, you're going to have something that is specifically tailored for your challenges and needs. So I think
Got it.
my first advice would be that, would be uh, before building, before hiring, before investing,
Mm-hmm.
try to understand whether it's with a discovery, whether it's with AI Studio, whether it's with a proof of concept, trying to understand what do you need to um, have already been through ahead of the curve, right? You
Yeah.
need to build infrastructure, but you need to understand where you're going to go and how you're going to get there.
Got it. And then say except the industry as being in biz dev, right? And you have a company, you're trying to scale this company. What
Hmm.
are you doing and how are you leveraging AI to essentially build out your customer base?
Myself, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm using your typical AI, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, you name it. I use it a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
use, for example, a lot of the GPTs, which are a special kind of mini GPTs you can build for something specific. If I want to, for
Mm-hmm.
example, rate any kind of resumes that people that comes to work with us in projects, I can
Mm-hmm.
build a GPT that tells me For example, in this kind of areas or of expertise, in this kind of skills, this resume has a punctuation of 7/10, 8/10. So you can build something
Hmm.
that can work for you in that way. I use GPT to help me build proposals, for example, to help me understand my ICP or tweak it a little bit. I use it for um, finding the right people to talk to. I use it for a lot of things. And
Hmm.
I've also tried some other outreach tools that can help you get insights depending on some variables. For example, there are a couple of them where you can input. I want to, I don't know, get in touch with companies that are talking about these kind of topics. I don't know, product
Hmm.
development, or
Hmm.
we work a lot with product companies for restaurants. So when they're talking about POS, point of sale systems, they are talking about voice AI, which is something that
Hmm.
we are very focusing on nowadays. Voice AI is point to text, text to voice. So with when these buzzwords come anywhere in a social network, please give me a hint, an alert, an insight, and build a message around that. So that saves you a lot of time when you're doing outreach, when you're trying to sell to specific people, those kind of tools, or you can see who's hiring in a specific
Hmm.
kind of technology.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you build essentially a listening bot, like a
Yeah,
web listening bot, and then it said, and then you set it up so that way it specifically is looking for certain voice around a particular need, or I guess you could say need, right? Like people are just or a certain topic or a particular need, right? Like in the job market, who's hiring? So, look at Indeed, look at LinkedIn jobs, look at all these different places, recruiter.com, find people discussing this particular problem that you're trying to hire for. Notify
yeah,
me, and then do you have it engaging with them as well too to start the conversation, or are you doing that
yeah,
manually?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, we've not built it ourselves. But maybe that was not what I'm trying to say. I use
Oh,
those kind of tools in business
oh,
development. There
you've
are a lot
used.
of them
Okay.
in the market. A lot of
Yeah.
them in the market, and yes, they help you identify where there's some insight, some input that can catch your attention that you would manually do, like try to, I don't know, scrape your by your own means, LinkedIn or
Yeah.
whatever social network, and see who's talking about what and who's mentioning something you're working on or something. Well, this can do it automatically, and it can build you the first outreach message for you,
Hmm.
taking into account all the information about your company, your LinkedIn profile, your company's LinkedIn profile,
Yeah.
with all that kind of information, or you can fit it because it's in all these systems. It's very important that you feed them correctly and
Hmm.
you input the right information for it to work properly. And yes, it saves you a lot of time, it saves you a lot of
Yeah.
money, people. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. No, I'm doing it as well too, or we do it as well too. It's one of the things we found very beneficial being able to do outreach and cut out that waste of time. But what I
Yeah,
haven't tried to do is build something like you're saying around essentially a listening agent to hey, here's the sites, here's the areas you need to listen to, and when something around this type of topic comes up, engage and ping me to get in there because it happens so fast, right? Like a lot of times
yeah,
for instance, on Reddit, right? You go to one of the subreddits and you'd be like, oh man, I'm like a week too late on this. Like, I
yeah,
just didn't find it. But then if you have something that's always listening, it's like, boom, well, you're on top of it right away and commenting, and you can get in there and hopefully get first interaction. So that's a good idea. And then, so in your company and how you guys are scaling, are you guys finding any roadblocks? Are you things are dialed in? The pipeline's good.
well, there are always roadblocks. For example, we don't do any kind of cold messaging or cold calls. We try to build our relationships. We are in a lot of communities. For example, we're part of the Chamber of Commerce in Chicago. We are part of
Hmm.
Mindshare in DC. We are part of the chamber in Texas too. So our work, I'd say our business development work is a lot about building our cases.
Relationship. Yeah.
We have a lot of cases. We work with restaurants, we work with finance, we work with healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
with a couple of industries. We work with different technologies, edge AI, voice AI, well, of course, chatbots, agents. So we use those cases, we use those past customers, and we leverage all that kind of connections and relationships to get to people because what we're selling, what we're providing, is not just a specific product that you can replicate and sell to 1,000 different
Mm-hmm.
companies. What we do is trying to understand the challenge and trying and building on it, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot of talk to people. That takes
Yeah.
a lot of content. We do a lot of content. We try to talk with people about AI. What can you do of AI? Because it's not just ChatGPT and it's not just
Mm-hmm.
all this hype around that you think that you can get to the moon with AI. Well,
Yeah.
let's bring it down to earth and try to understand what kind of processes you can enhance, you can improve with AI, whether it's with conversational models or speech recognition or voice agents or whatever it is. Let's bring it down to earth and understand how you can build this, how you can eat it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's a lot of coming back to your question, there's a lot of roadblocks around there because it my job would be much easier if I have a product and I should sell it to 1,000 different people and the product's always the
Mm-hmm.
same and the offer is always the same. But my job is fortunately much more fun because I can get with a lot of people and understand their business cases and help them with technology, with AI. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm loving it.
No, that yeah. I think restaurants is a great niche because there's so much that could be provided as far as being
Yeah.
able to answer the phone. Like you don't even need to go through a prompt anymore, right? Like a
Mm-hmm.
keypad prompt. You could essentially like my I use a voice agent for our business, and it's like people can't tell the difference. Like, hey, this is Mark by Data. How can I help you? And they're like, hey, I'm da 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 da. It's like for a restaurant, it's like, hey, I want to book a reservation. Hey, are you guys open at this time? It's like, and they can think they're actually talking to someone because I feel like the past years there's been that disconnect where you call someone and you get that stupid voice prompt and you go through circles on it where now you could feel like you're actually talking to someone. You don't get frustrated and want to throw the phone. Um, and then booking, right? Like the way that interacts with booking. So there's huge, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
so if someone listening is trying to scale right now, what's one piece of advice you wish you had earlier?
Oh, well, I'd hate to come back to the same, but my piece
Yeah.
of advice would be to build some kind of internal expertise, right?
Mm-hmm.
So talk to people that understand how to build an AI. Try to build in phases. Don't go all at once. It doesn't make much sense to me to build a proposal of, I don't know, $200,000 and just send it your way. But for us, it's much easier to help them understand all the uh, all the cost versus return, all the risks there are, all the effort the company will have to do to acquire AI into their processes. So understand your case, right? I don't know. I have this platform and I want my platform to start filtering candidates this way, or I want my
Mm-hmm.
platform to have some part of the process automated. I don't know. I want to vet candidates automatically. Um, or I want to, I don't know, improve this handling of the data. I want this, and that. How would I do that?
So
Well,
yeah, it sounds like it sounds like it's detailed. It's like it's not even may not even necessarily be a problem. It's like, hey, here's my process. How do I take this process and optimize it?
yeah, yeah, sure.
That makes
And
sense. Yeah.
yeah. And in as in many other areas of life itself, it's better before you start building to talk to an expert. So
Yeah.
I'd say my first recommendation would be, my first piece of advice would be that, would be to talk to any kind of company that are tech people themselves and can help you figure out what would a project would be like and what would the outcome be in 6 months. Okay, when we finish, you're going to have this, this, and that, and you're going to be able to do this, this, and that.
Nice.
And that's how you build your internal expertise.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, where can people connect with you or learn more about what you're doing?
Yeah, I can leave you my email, my phone number, whatever, here, or I
Yeah,
can
you,
send
you
it
can
to.
say here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's S Rodriguez. That's Rodriguez at celaralabs.com. To better understand what's the way to go about it, we like to have a first discovery call with our customers, try to understand where the pains and the needs and the challenges are, in which areas, and just listen to them. We don't talk about any kind of products or solutions yet. We just listen to the ideas they have. And many of our customers come with a lot of really, really good ideas in different
Hmm.
areas of their companies. And from there, we can go with of course, this is totally free, a back and forth on ideas on how to tackle those challenges. So for
Hmm.
this, this, and that, we could do this, this, and that. And then we can start with a discovery or a proof of concept, which is pretty much inexpensive to understand what kind of project you need for the next couple of months.
Great. Well, I appreciate. Thank you for taking the time.
Of course, Jason, thank you for the time. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.